Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Poor Russell Findlay. Newly elected as the leader of the Scottish Tories, and almost immediately people start leaving. We have, of course, the story of Thomas Kerr, who is a Glasgow Conservative councillor, who now just swung over to Reform, leaving only one Glasgow councillor, and I've covered that before. And even she can't guarantee she's going to stay as a Tory. She may well go to Reform as well. Now, Russell Findlay has been asked about this, and he says basically he's got no control over how people change their minds politically. He says he can't stop anyone from leaving the Tories and going to Reform. He says he just hopes they don't. But he says he is bracing himself for more defections. And he's saying that the problem isn't Scottish Tories, it's Tories. He says the problem is the Tory party in London is seen as weak. Nice to see a bit of unity, isn't it? He says, but the problem's there, and so it's affecting Scottish Tories. He said, but Scottish Tories are not Tories. We are completely separate. And he's right, he is, in the same way Scottish Labour isn't the Labour Party. But you get tarred with the same brush, and this is the problem. And people have had enough. They want change. They're seeing a uni party with Labour and the Tories. Now, obviously, when you have a party that's not being effective, it's very hard for them to sort of toot their own trumpet, as it were. The Tories in Scotland haven't done much, have they? Let's face it. They've tried, but they've just not been able to because of the way the voting system works, basically. And certainly now, they've got no chance of doing anything grand at Westminster because they're just not powerful enough. And so people are looking at them and saying, meh. And also, there's nothing exciting about them. Reform, on the other hand, is offering change. It's caught the public imagination. It's the growing party. It's got the momentum. And people are hungry for change. And Reform are the only party able to offer change. And so, change there may well be. And of course, this is affecting Russell Findlay and the Scottish Tories. Now, it's not just the Scottish Tories, of course. Reform are pulling away from Labour, and we've even had SNP, unbelievably, an SNP conversion to Reform, which is the last thing you'd think would happen. Come the next election, in May 26 in Scotland, anyway, the Holyrood elections there, there's going to be a complete turnaround. Now, at the moment, SNP are still going to be the largest party, but nowhere near a majority. Labour are going to shrink. The Tories are going to shrink, and of course everything is going to go towards Reform. Reform likely to be the second biggest party in Scotland at the moment. But with the momentum going, with the way that people are perceiving the SNP, and certainly perceiving Labour and the Tories, it could end up that Reform could be the biggest party in Scotland. And then there'd be a Reform government, probably in coalition with another. Now, as I say, and I've mentioned this before, Reform will go into coalition with anyone. They've said that. In Scotland, they'll go. They have no limits. They'll go into a coalition with anyone to ensure that the SNP government falls. So I think it's likely to. So watch this space. But poor Russell Findlay, he may not even have a party in 2026. Thanks a lot. Bye.